Now, a while back when we knew we were going to be getting God Neptune, we also knew that in order to stay true to the original God Neptune toy from Beast Wars 2nd, some member had to be left out. And the original character of Nautilator, or Lobclaw, from the Master Force side of things, was going to be left out in order to maintain that trueness to the original character. And when we were going to get this Generation Selects toy, we didn't know really that there was going to be a major manga tie to it, explaining it. We kind of had a feeling it was going to happen because Sakamoto has done the mangas in the past for a lot of these Generation Selects and I guess we could call them Henkei, and later on Legends products. But it's just that we didn't know that there'd be some kind of explanation, at least, of whatever happened to the sixth member of the Seacons. And now we kind of have an explanation, and I want to kind of just explain what's going on in the manga because there has been conflicting information online from people. Now, again, when we were shown God Neptune and people were like, well, why aren't they including the sixth member? Well, again, it was to be true to the original source material. Beast Wars 2nd or Beast Wars 2, God Neptune, the Seacons, when they were ported over and repainted for that line, didn't have the sixth member. I don't know the main reasoning behind it. Maybe because they just felt 5 was enough. Maybe it was for a budget reason. Who knows? But the character of Lobclaw, aka Nautilator here in America, was left out, and they just stuck with the 5. Years later, we have our Generation Selects toy. They do a repaint of the Seacons from Generation Selects previous, and they choose to leave out Lobclaw to stay true to that of the original source material. Fast forward to the manga pages that have been coming out very slowly from Takara-Tomy's mall website and everything like that. And we have some new pages that came out 2 days ago. I translated them to make sense of what's going on here, and it created a lot of confusion from people. People saw a character that looked like Lobclaw or Nautilator painted in the Beast Wars 2nd Seacon colors, and they assumed, oh, hey, maybe that means we're going to be getting this character down the line. Maybe we're going to be getting him included with it as a bonus or a box set, extra sold on the side or something like that. But here's the reality, and it's kind of unfortunate. I hate to be the bringer of bad news, but what it is in the manga, these stories that are going on here, specifically that part of the story in the manga here, it's actually a flashback. And if you actually look very carefully at Half Shell, aka what you would call Snaptrap, his design is not based off of that of his Generation Selects design. It's based off of that of his original Generation 1 / Beast Wars 2nd mold. So it's a flashback story from before they got, I guess, reformatted into their newer bodies. And it's kind of a explanation of why this team were originally 6 and then ended up being 5 in all material afterwards. And it was that they were betrayed by the leader of their space pirate team, which translates to Duncan, which it's pretty much, I'm assuming it's Duncan, but it's Dunkun, but it's probably Duncan. And they were betrayed. They got the hell beaten out of them, and all of the members of the team were essentially killed except for the extremely pretty mortally wounded Half Shell. Some mysterious character, which I'll get into a second afterwards, offers to reformat them in exchange for one of their members. And since this member, which now we have a name for him, his name is Robu Hama, which I'm going to go with Lobhammer. You know, that's what I'm thinking, because it's probably like just like lobster and hammer, I guess, because the fists, because his claws could be considered. So it's Lobhammer. Since he was the newest member of the team, and always had Half Shell's back and protected him, he'll be the one that he'll offer up because the other members have been there much longer. Again, that's Half Shell's logic, I guess. And this mysterious person reformats them into the bodies that they have today. Now, this mysterious individual, judging by the one panel of his, I guess, eye socket and upper cheekbone, because that's all we could really see, I want to say it's Unicron, and they're probably playing into the future HasLab Unicron design. That's what I'm taking a guess at, because Sakamoto has been known for like peppering little things that lead to the future of toy releases. And that's one assumption that I have here, essentially, is that it's probably Unicron, but nothing confirmed yet. But it sure as heck does seem like it could be the case. And as a result, this character was, Lob Hammer was whisked away, and that was that. So this manga mostly exists to just explain why the Beast Wars Seacons never had a sixth member. Was because early in their pirating days, that member got killed pretty much, and then offered away to, I guess we'll just say, this person, which I'm assuming is Unicron, and they've always been 5 from that point on. Beast Wars Second, it's 5, and our Generation Select's ongoing story, it's been the 5 members. So that's the explanation for it. So are we going to see this character get a Generation Selects toy? Judging by the way that Sakamoto wrote this story, I think it was more just a way to explain why we're not going to get this toy. Just explaining how he's kind of been left off to the side. What this does mean, though, is if you're a customizer, you now have the color scheme both for if you want to do a G1 old school repaint, or if you want to do a Beast Wars Generation Selects repaint and use the newer mold. You could take either one of the old mold or newer mold and give a Lob Hammer modern interpretation or a old school interpretation based on the colors here. Just don't put a hole in his chest, obviously. But yeah, that's the short end of it, essentially, because there has been a lot of conflicting information online. I wanted to translate it. And again, I use translation programs along with my limited knowledge of Japanese. And then I kind of, when I hit a bump in the road, I have 2 friends. You could probably take a guess who they are. I keep mentioning them on the podcast, but I have 2 friends from Japan that I always run by material and go, hey, is this correct? Is that correct? And then take it from there. But yeah, so this is that's what it is essentially. So I don't think we should be expecting a 6th member from the Generation Selects line from that Beast Wars Second repaint color scheme of God Neptune. I think this was just more Sakamoto really trying to explain why this guy is absent to begin with. And that's Sakamoto's thing. Like, he's all about filling the gaps in all the plot holes that exist in Transformer history. And this is just another example of that. And it's cool because at least it kind of, even though it's a character that ends up dying, it kind of creates a character and gives us a little bit of more of an insight to the God Neptune team that we've known for so very long. So definitely interesting stuff. If you want to check it out, it's on Takara-Tomy's mall website on the God Neptune page. All 4 full runs of the manga are there, obviously in Japanese, but if you have a translation program or something, it shouldn't be too hard to break down what's going on. And I'm pretty sure within the next couple of weeks, there'll be some official translations done by the fans. But definitely check it out. It's really awesome art and great stuff, and colored by Joshua Perez and a few other talented individuals. I believe Casey Collar had some input also with some of the art, so really good stuff. Definitely check it out.